A man saved a woman who was on the verge of being hit by a car but was charged with sexual harassment because he made inappropriate contact with her. Police in Los Angeles said 32-year-old Daniel Reed noticed Jessica Moore stepping into the street while looking at her phone. A car was racing toward her seconds away from impact. Daniel reacted instantly, grabbing her and pulling her out of the way just before the vehicle passed. Surveillance footage later confirmed that his actions had prevented a major accident. However, Jessica later filed a complaint stating that Daniel's actions were inappropriate and violated her personal boundaries. Her legal team argued that no one has the right to touch another person without consent, even in an emergency situation. The case has triggered nationwide debate. Millions online argue that Daniel should be recognized for his quick thinking rather than punished for it. Others insist that physical boundaries must still be respected regardless of intent. Legal experts say the case will likely hinge on intent and public morality, raising questions about where the line should be drawn between consent and heroism. Daniel has maintained that his only intention was to save a life.
This right here is exactly why men stopped helping. A man risked his own safety to pull a stranger out of the street, literally saved her life, and somehow he's the one facing charges. Imagine being punished for instinct, punished for compassion, punished for doing what every decent man has been raised to do. Heroism used to earn you respect. Now it earns you a lawyer. The message to every man is crystal clear. It's not worth it. Don't save her, don't speak up, don't step in, keep walking, keep your head down, keep your hands to yourself, even if it costs someone their life. This is the new world order, where decency is treated like danger. We've replaced gratitude with suspicion. Every man knows that one wrong move, one misunderstood gesture, one false accusation can ruin him faster than any crime. He could lose his job, his name, his future, all because someone felt uncomfortable. What used to be instinct is now hesitation. Men aren't scared of women. They're scared of the consequences that follow even basic kindness. The right thing comes with paperwork, HR meetings, and headlines that say allegations long before they say truth. So men adapt. They stop helping, stop protecting, stop approaching. They don't hold doors. They don't offer rides. They don't say a word. Because silence is safer than empathy. You can't cancel silence. You can't sue a man for staying out of your business. And yet, those same women who demanded to be left alone are now crying that men have gone cold. That men no longer care. No, men care. They just learned that caring costs too much. Chivalry didn't die. It was executed, publicly. Every man watched this story unfold and took notes. Why risk everything to help someone who might turn around and call you the problem? That man should have been thanked, celebrated, honored for acting faster than most people even think. Instead, he became a warning label for every guy who ever thought of stepping in. The message spread faster than any court ruling. Being the good guy doesn't pay. It only gets you punished. This is how the world loses good men. Not because they disappeared, but because they learned to keep their humanity to themselves. And the next time someone wonders why no man rushed to help, or why no one stepped forward when things went bad, remember Daniel Reed. Remember how he saved a life and got destroyed for it. Men didn't stop helping out of apathy. They stopped because the system made compassion look like a liability. And once you punish the heroes, don't be surprised when no one shows up to save you.
Nobody's helping me. Nobody's helping me. All these men for what?
What do you want us to do?
What a lot of women do not want to admit is that this would be exactly them when they get into a situation like this. Because so many women have been fed the message that they have to be strong, that they have to be an independent woman, that is really where their value lies today. But when push comes to shove and they get into a situation like this, they're looking for a man to help them. I don't think there's anything weak about that. I think that's just knowing your strengths and knowing somebody else's strengths. The problem is when you're living in a very peaceful, calm state and you're not falling into situations like this, it's unfortunately a little easy to forget the value in somebody else. The problem is when so many women villainize men as a whole and they say that they'd rather pick the bear than be with a man. You don't realize that in the next instant, if they were out of their peaceful, calm state and they were in a situation like this, they would be looking to a man. And what do you think men feel about that? Because they know this. And do you hear the man in the background saying, how can I help you? Like, he is willing to actually still help. And that is the majority of men. That's what a lot of women don't realize, is that even though you bash them and you push them down, they are still coming up to the plate. And that should be admired.
It's independence when it's easy, expectation when it's not. In calm times, men are unnecessary. But when chaos hits, suddenly everyone remembers who steps in when it matters. It's not about weakness, it's about reality. Real strength isn't pretending you never need help. It's knowing when you do and respecting those who provide it. The problem is, too many forget that until they're on the ground calling for it. You can't spend years dismissing men and then wonder why no one's rushing in when things fall apart.
Leave women alone.
But men are already doing that. Or hasn't one noticed? But I find it odd that some women want men to leave women alone, except when they need their support in something. And then they complain, why aren't the men speaking up?
Stop telling us what to do with our hair.
Frankly, I cannot remember the last time a man told me what to do with my hair. In my experience, it's almost always some of the women who are so concerned with what other women look like.
Stop telling us what to do with our bodies.
Like what? Don't rack up a high body count because a great many men and women find a high body count rather unappealing. How dare some men tell women to pay attention to their own morality?
Stop telling us how to dress.
Really? From what I've seen, some women should be told that what they're wearing is often inappropriate.
Leave us alone.
And when they finally do, what then will one have to complain about?
It's funny how "leave us alone" has become the rallying cry. But the moment men actually do, there's outrage about the silence. You can't have it both ways. If the message is independence, then independence has to include the quiet that comes with it. No applause, no assistance, no attention. That's what being left alone actually means. And the irony runs deeper. The things being protested, hair, clothes, body autonomy, aren't battles most men are even fighting. It's often other women setting those standards or enforcing them. The idea that men are sitting around policing every choice is a tired fantasy from a time that doesn't exist anymore. So when men step back, the space feels empty, not because men vanished, but because the outrage depended on having someone to blame. When accountability replaces opposition, a lot of the noise fades. The truth is, the call to leave us alone was answered long ago. Now some just don't like how quiet it's become.
Caught my girl going through my phone again. She been trying to catch me cheating for the last couple months. So finally I just broke down to ask her. I said, what are you prepared to do when you catch me cheating? She said, I don't know. I kind of just want closure and I want to know if you cheating so we can go from there. So say less. I walk up to her with the water bill. I said, if I leave, can you pay this? She said, no. I walk up to her with the gas and electric bill. I said, if I leave, can you pay this? She said, no. I walk up to her with our car notes and the insurance. I said, what about these? Can you pay these if I leave? She said, no. So finally I walk up to her with the mortgage. I said, what about this one? You got to be able to pay this one if I leave. She said, no. Why you asking me if I can pay the bills? I said, because why you trying to catch me cheating if you not prepared to leave me and you know you can't pay the bills if you do leave me? She said, you know what? I'm going to stay out your phone and go make you a sandwich. You hungry? I said, extra bacon, please.
Man turned a loyalty test into a budget meeting. And honestly, he's got a point. If you're going to go looking for trouble, at least be ready for what comes with it. She wanted closure, but those bills closed the conversation real quick. Funny how the talk about independence fades when the bills hit the table. And that's part of why men stop stepping in. Too many want the benefits without the balance. Full control until the car breaks down or the rent's due. You can't demand space one day and support the next. She started that talk looking for proof he was the problem, but she ended it making him a sandwich.
Ladies, can we please stop normalizing being a broke girlfriend? Can we please stop? We've made fun of broke boyfriends time and time again, but we never talk about broke girlfriends. No, your man shouldn't be paying for your $7 Starbucks drink every single day. You're not a prize. You have $0 in the bank. The only time that I'll ever let my man pay for things like that is once we're married. Because as of now, he should be saving that money. What is this normalized behavior that women could just be bums?
Finally, someone said it. The same crowd that laughs at broke boyfriends suddenly goes quiet when the mirror flips. Everyone wants to be treated like a prize, but prizes usually come with some value, not just an attitude and an empty debit card. Respect goes both ways, and so does effort. This is what men mean when they step back. They're tired of paying for everything while being told they don't bring enough to the table. You can't call it equality and then expect daily sponsorships. If you want to be taken seriously, show you can stand on your own before asking someone else to carry the load.
Guys, stop dating broke women with high standards. Yes, I said what I said. Listen, a woman who doesn't hustle for her own money will never understand the value of yours. She'll just drain you mentally, emotionally, and financially, and she will have very unrealistic expectations from you. Listen, the worst combination for a partner is one that is broke, lazy, and entitled. Matter of fact, that's not even a partner. That's a liability. If you want peace, purpose, and progress, get yourself a woman with vision, a woman who is building her own, not just somebody who is waiting to spend your money. Guys, he who has ears, let them hear. Leave those broke, unmotivated ladies alone.
She's not wrong. A woman who doesn't build anything on her own will never value what someone else built. That kind of mindset turns relationships into transactions. When someone brings nothing to the table but a wish list, the only thing that gets spent is the man's peace. And this is exactly why more men are walking away. They're tired of being treated like ATMs with feelings. If partnership only starts when the bill arrives, it's not love, it's a lease. The men who understand that aren't bitter, they're just done paying rent on someone else's lifestyle.